Spider-Man is one of the best and most well-known Marvel superheroes ever created. If you watch the Spider-Man movies, animated series, played the video games, or read the comic books, then you must know how unique and awesome his villains are. Villains like Venom and Dr. Octavius are major reasons why the franchise is successful as it is today. So now, I present to you Top 10 Spider-Man Villains. Quentin Beck was a special effects developer creating lifelike illusions. Fueled by greed, he would eventually use his skills to commit various crimes now going by the moniker Mysterio. Beck isn't very powerful physically, but his intelligence more than makes up for it. His illusions and technology are actually quite dangerous. For example, in the PS1 Spider-Man game, he can use his tech to shapeshift into anybody he wants, similar to the Chameleon's power. He also has the ability to turn himself into a giant, causing some serious damage. His most evil moment would have to be when he tricked Wolverine into killing every member of the X-Men, making him believe they were his enemies while locked in a sinister illusion. Mysterio certainly isn't the toughest villain, but he may be the greatest trickster in the Marvel Universe. Curt Connors is a medical doctor with 2 doctorate degrees in biochemistry and biology. He would eventually enlist in the US Army, where he became an emergency medic, helping injured soldiers during war. One day, Kurt's right arm was blown off during a battle. After returning home, Dr. Connors was fixated on creating a serum that would heal his lost arm. Using reptilian DNA in his formula, he would inject himself with the serum. His arm did grow back, but something went terribly wrong. The reptile DNA fused with his DNA, transforming him into the vile fiend known as the Lizard. One of Spider-Man's most vicious foes, the Lizard has superhuman strength and agility. His skin is bulletproof, plus he has the power to communicate with other reptiles. Similar to the Green Goblin, the Lizard is a totally different entity than Curt Connors. Curt is a good man, but the Lizard is an evil creature that causes nothing but pain and destruction. Mac Gargan was an investigator working for J. Jonah Jameson. He was tasked with following Peter Parker to find out how he gets the amazing pictures of the Wallcrawler. While telling Spider-Man, he was caught by Spidey and webbed to the wall. Jameson would find him and ask Gargan, "How would you like to get back at him and make a real name for yourself?" Gargan replied, saying, "I'd kill for the chance." Jameson would then escort Mac to Dr. Stillwell's lab. Gargan was told to put on the green battlesuit after going through the process of being blasted with the radiation of a neogenic recombinator combined with scorpion DNA. He had been given the power of a human scorpion. Gargan was now insanely powerful, able to climb walls, run super fast, and project deadly acid from his tail. He has beaten Spider-Man in combat on several occasions because of his superior strength. Though as strong as he is, Scorpion isn't very bright, which is usually the reason for his downfall. An interesting fact about Scorpion is the process he went through can't be undone, leaving Mac Gargan permanently trapped in his Scorpion suit for the rest of his life. Sergei Kravenov was a skilled hunter in Africa, with the reputation of taking down his prey with only his bare hands. One day, a shaman would give him a potion. After drinking this concoction, all of his senses were enhanced and he now had the power of an ox. He could move like a cheetah and pounce like a lion. Kraven also has the power to tame any animal he comes across. He is also a master with weapons, using knives, spears, bows, and poison darts. After this transformation, he would now refer to himself as Kraven the Hunter. Even though the potion gave him great power, it did come with a bad side effect. It twisted his mind, and now he is dangerously violent, acting more like a beast than a man. One day, Kraven heard about the webhead Spider-Man from his half-brother, the Chameleon. Kraven felt that this would be a true challenge for him, so he marked the spider as his next target. Alexei Sitsevich was born in Russia. Like the Scorpion, he went through radioactive procedures, giving him superhuman strength that rivals even the Juggernaut's power. Plus, he was blessed with an ultra-durable rhinoceros suit, which is almost indestructible. He was given orders to capture Spider-Man, but he quickly realized that he's so powerful now, he doesn't need to take orders from anyone. Rhino has fought Spider-Man many times. He has also crossed paths with the Incredible Hulk, but despite having all that power, he is somewhat of a knucklehead, acting more like a grunt thug instead of a big bad boss. And again, like Scorpion, his suit is stuck to his body as well. With all that being said, Rhino is still one of Spidey's most powerful foes. Dr. Otto Octavius was a brilliant scientist full of pride and ego. During a research experiment, he would fuse 4 mechanical arms to his spine. One day, while working with the arms, there was a radiation explosion that deeply affected Otto. Now, he was able to control the metal arms with his mind, but his brain was badly affected as well, turning him into a madman. Now, he was Dr. Octopus. He knew that he was a genius, and combined with his newfound power, he could do and take whatever he wants. Doc Ock is a very unique villain, being able to pick up vehicles with his tentacles. He can also move very fast using the arms. He can wrap up his enemies as well, squeezing the life out of them. Spider-Man usually uses his wits to defeat his foes, but with Doc Ock, that doesn't work too well most of the time. Flint Marko was nothing but a 2-bit thug until one day, he was hit with an explosion of radiation. Noticing a pattern here? This would mess with his DNA, giving him the ability to manipulate sand. Not only that, he could also shapeshift, turning his body into sand weapons. Plus, if he has enough sand, he can turn into a giant. The Sandman is indestructible. I'm pretty sure he's immortal. Although he does have his weaknesses. For example, if he gets burned, he can turn into glass and be shattered. If Sandman is attacked with water, he loses control of all his sand particles while disintegrating. But even if he is completely destroyed, his conscience remains, and given time, he will reform. This is why he is one of Spider-Man's most dangerous enemies. There's not much he can do when facing the Sandman. Cletus Cassidy is a deluded psychopath. He is a deranged killer who shows no mercy or remorse for his victims. To him, life is meaningless, and all he wants to do is spread chaos throughout the land. During a prison breakout, a red symbiote would find Cassidy. It would merge with him, creating carnage. The symbiote amplified Cassidy's madness. The Carnage symbiote is the offspring of Venom, and because of Venom formerly being merged with Spider-Man, this gave Carnage the spider sense. He can also form his limbs into weapons, has super strength, can wall crawl, shapeshift, plus he has the ability to heal himself. Although he does wield these amazing powers, Carnage is not without his weaknesses, as he is vulnerable to loud noises and fire. With his twisted mind and abilities, Carnage is definitely one of the biggest threats in Marvel. Norman Osborn is CEO and founder of the company Oscorp. He is a very prideful man driven by power and ego. Behind on his work to make a super soldier serum, and about to lose a military contract, he decides to test the serum on himself. Of course, this goes horribly wrong as the serum made Norman lose his mind and go completely insane. Looking closer, you can see he has actually developed a split personality, becoming what Madam Web said, a two-headed monster. The Green Goblin is super powerful and very crafty, usually riding on his glider and throwing his signature pumpkin bombs. His strength is unbelievable, thanks to the Goblin Serum. If you saw Spider-Man No Way Home, you can see his raw power, as he body slams Spidey through a whole building. One of Spider-Man's greatest adversaries, he has bested the Spider a few times. The worst of it would have to be when he kills Gwen Stacy in the comics. A lot of people would call him the #1 villain in Spider-Man, but he's not my #1. Before we get to #1, it's time for some honorable mentions. These are the guys that almost made the list, but didn't. The Shocker. He uses vibro shock gauntlets on his wrists that project shockwave blasts. Next on the honorable mentions list is Tombstone. He has super durability, sharp teeth, and super strength. Spider-Man would have a hard time taking him down, that's for sure. The Vulture. One of Spidey's oldest foes. Literally. Flying at super fast speed while shooting spiked feathers from his wings? He's a savage. Hobgoblin. He's a lot like the Green Goblin, that's actually why he didn't make this list. He's got the glider, the gadgets, but he doesn't have super strength like the Green Goblin. Last but not least on our list of honorable mentions is Electro. Electro can turn into electric. He has super strength, plus he can fly. Maybe he should have made this list. Now it's time for our #1 villain. When I think of Spider-Man, I immediately think of Venom. One day, a cosmic being called the Beyonder would teleport several heroes and villains, including Peter Parker, to go toe-to-toe in a place called Battle World. During the fight, Spider-Man's suit was badly damaged. When he went into a room to try and repair the suit, some strange black goo covered his body, forming a new black suit, and not only that, this new suit had unlimited webbing. It also made him twice as strong and more agile. The Secret Wars were now over, but Peter Parker kept the suit, bringing it back to Earth. The more Peter wore the suit, the more he realized that it is changing him. He goes to Mr. Fantastic to examine the suit. Mr. Fantastic tells him that the suit is alive and it's slowly trying to permanently bond with him. Freaked out by this, he removes the suit using loud sounds to rip it off. Now that Spider-Man has rejected the symbiote, it finds a new host. A man named Eddie Brock who was about to end his life. The symbiote could feel his intense pain and sadness. It would merge with him and together, they become Venom. The two of them bonding would create a creature of rage and revenge, dead set on destroying Peter Parker for getting Eddie Brock fired and rejecting the symbiote. Venom has incredible strength. He can easily sneak up on Spidey as he is undetectable to spider sense. Not to mention, he has webbing ability and can wall crawl. I've always looked at him as the bad Spider-Man, and I've always looked at him as the #1 villain in Spider-Man. That is the top 10 Spider-Man villains in my opinion. Do you agree? Let me know in the comments section which Spider-Man villain you enjoy the most. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And until next time, stay up late productions.